think I also want to talk about live feed because I was thinking that there's a possibility, or that there was a time where I thought maybe 24-hour live feed they might have done. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about it 'cause I really do like live feed, and I'm very happy to do 24 hours live feed if that is, like, is that possible? Um but I realize that I'm getting very, very tired. Like, I don't know if it's I'm getting tired because I'm going on the internet, and if my soul is sort of time traveling and setting things up. I don't know what's actually like how I'm doing it exactly. I know that I feel like I'm being drained and that my soul is being come out of me. And I know in the first 2 years, 2013 and 2014, ever since I met Martin, that I've had that strong feeling, and it lasted for 2 whole years, and then it kind of cleared up. I feel like I was able to get out of that phase, but I was only able to get out of that phase by not believing that I was God, not believing that I was Christ. I think if I don't believe that I was Christ, the fact that I'm Christ, I feel like I can continue like a normal person. But when I do believe, that's when I just start getting a huge amount of tiredness. But it's not all the time. Sometimes I feel wide awake. Still want to go to this trampoline park. I might go tomorrow. I don't know, but I don't know. I go through phases where I'm really tired and then not tired, and then and yeah. I think if you did have 24-hour live feed and all I did was sleep or something like that, I think it that shouldn't be how I come across. I shouldn't come across as someone who just like is tired all the time. I'm not usually like that. I usually have a lot of energy, but it just seems to have gone in the last few months. I think it might have even started in May. Um, and I don't know. I mean, I can still cycle and stuff, so I can, but and yeah, I can force myself to be awake, but sometimes I just find that really hard, and I don't know. Maybe it would be better to um, you know to see how, because it might be a case as soon as I'm not on the internet any longer, or maybe the tiredness will just go away and I'll just be normal. Maybe I'm tired. Sometimes I feel like I'm tired just because I have no reason to get out of bed, nothing to do or anything, or nowhere to go. Um, and yeah, it might be different if I was living with a bunch of people who had energy, or could had interesting conversations and stuff. So I just don't know how it's going to be. I know though that I'm not going to trust this. If I do get on, I'm not going to trust the show for a long time. Um, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but um, I I don't know. I When it comes to being the first or the last, if I was to fantasize about if I am going to get on this year, if I was to fantasize, or maybe it's not next year. It's not. It's got to be this year. I'm not waiting any longer. But yeah, if I was to fantasize about being on, I don't know. I can imagine it being first or last, but not in the middle. First is good because the person who goes in first usually gets the most amount of attention because you see them, one by one, meeting more and more people. The thing is that I don't really know if I want attention. I feel like I'm happy just to sort of slide in at the end. Although that is probably the worst because you have a bunch of names and you got to try and remember. Everyone shows you your name all at once, and I can never remember names. So but yeah, I don't know. I think I might actually prefer coming in last rather than first, but um, I don't know. Either is fine. But what I don't want is for someone to just call me up live on or semi live and just be like, "Hey, we'll pick you up in 1 hour's time." I'd want a bit more time than that. But but yeah, and I was also thinking about the Disney films today. Actually, there's Britain, but the Beauty and the Beast. You know how the Beast shows Beauty. Wow, look at all these books. I'm trying to impress you. And yeah, I was looking around at because I watched that yesterday, and then I was looking at all those books. I was thinking, oh my god, that sounds like a nightmare. If I was living with a beast and he was like, look at all these books, I'll just be like, I don't like books. I'm dyslexic. I can't read them. But it would be cool though if they did a modern version. So you could do a modern version of Sleeping Beauty as well. Like I know the version I gave the other day was like probably a more sick version. But you could do a new cartoon. Disney could do a new cartoon version, a child friendly version of Sleeping Beauty, where they reveal at the beginning that the town is all evil and horrible. So the three fairies come up with a plan to steal the new monarch, raise this king up, and then they find out that it's a girl, and then they think, okay, well, we're going to curse the family. And you could actually show the family being disappointed that it's not a boy, and then thinking the fairies are going to curse the family so that they can not have any more kids. So they tell the family that we'll bring the child back on the 16th birthday, and they could just be like, oh, well, we didn't really want to look after a girl anyway. So that you could have it as a cartoon friendly version of because it's a really nice character, Sleeping Beauty. I'm sure Disney is making huge amounts of money on selling sort of products of like pictures of Sleeping Beauty, but the story itself is completely messed up. So you should come up with a new cartoon that's a child friendly version where the child gets taken off to give her a better view on life, or a better way of living, and then she'll be the new monarch. But yeah, when she comes back, finds that the city don't actually want a female still, and they're still fighting over who the king should be, and then maybe Maleficent should kind of punish the town by saying, you know what, you really like this, and all these guys are fighting over this girl, but we'll put her to sleep. And in that version, there'll be no rape or anything because this is for children. So, and they're all like, oh, Dad, we've lost our princess. And I don't know how they'll have to wake her up. They'll have to wake her up by proving that they're a good town or something. The spell can get broken by proving that they actually do love the girl, rather than, I don't know, than just being how they were before. I don't know, something like that. Or she can take the princess and put them in somewhere else, and then they have to try and find them. There's different options of what you can do, but I'm sure whatever you do, it could be so much better than the Sleeping Beauty. I think it was done in 1959. It says on Google 1959, which is a very long time ago. I didn't realize it was done that long ago. But yeah, and with Belle, if you were to do a modern take on Beauty and the Beast, instead of her nose stuck in a book, you can be her nose stuck in Facebook, and you can have a modern town where electricity and stuff is. But yeah, that the Beauty and the Beast one though is pretty good, the original. So that doesn't really need a revamp. But it would be good if the Beast shows her a big pile of DVDs and videos and like, wow, yeah, you bought me DVDs and videos. I'd be far more impressed with that than books. But yeah, I think the Sleeping Beauty one, you definitely need to redo that one. And you could do a people version as well. That's more for adults, and then a child version for kids. That's what I would